we're looking at the most mentioned place in the Bible, Jerusalem. And I'm going to show you why Jerusalem is so vital. Our amazing Jewish heritage is the first thing we need to think about. And this is what, from St. Augustine on, has been sought to be eradicated from the church. St. Augustine, or Augustine, in the Byzantine Empire of Rome, he was from Hippos, the north shore, or the northern part of Africa, the south shore of the Mediterranean. But St. Augustine wanted to basically get rid of this and replace it with this. He was the start of the replacement theologians who, by the way, now populate all the major denominations, including, Wheaton in Chicago. I mean, these replacement people believe that God is absolutely done with the Jewish people. They crucified Christ and rejected him, and all of the promises to Israel now are given to the church. And that's where a lot of the crazy fringe of the charismatics get some of those incredible health, wealth, and prosperity verses, because they pluck promises for the geography of the Holy Land and for the nation of Israel, and they apply those to the church. But just for you to think about, we have a very amazing Jewish heritage. This evening, every one of us, if we succumb to heart failure in this auditorium or die in a car accident on the way home, are headed to a city made by God. He calls it New Jerusalem. Now, if that isn't a tie to something, you're missing the boat. Heaven is called the New Jerusalem. It's not called, the New Kalamazoo or the New Rome. It's the New Jerusalem. What's interesting about it is it has 12 gates by which you enter the city, and those for eternity are going to have the names of 12 apostles who just happen to all be Jews. Isn't that interesting? And the 12 foundations that are going to have those names, they're named. Just like the gates are going to have the 12 apostles' names, the foundations are going to have forever the 12 tribes of Israel. So it's really interesting. What I think about, especially when you get to Revelation 7 and Revelation 14, where the replacement theologians say that is not talking about 12 tribes of Israel, because God is through with Israel. Well, I wonder what the 12 foundation stones are for then, if God is through with them. But forever, there is a merging of the two peoples of God, not an erasure of either one of them. The 12 gates, 12 apostles, speaking of the church, the 12 foundations, 12 tribes, speaking of Old Testament, and Revelation 7 and 14, which talks about the 144,000, which are made up of 12,000 from each of the 12 tribes. That means that there is a future plan that God has for Israel, right down to the tribal designations that only God would know. So that's very interesting, very Jewish. God sits on a hill called Mount Zion. That's where he says his throne is. Zion. That's fascinating. We are heading to a feast, and this is really interesting. And I'm going to show you this. Jesus said to the people, to a Gentile, Jesus spoke about this in Matthew 8 to a Gentile, a centurion, who had great faith in Jesus Christ. And Jesus said, I haven't seen faith like that nowhere before. That's amazing. And he says, you know what? You, Mr. Centurion, are going to come with many other people from the east and from the west. In other words, from outside of Israel. And all of you that are, in other words, embracing the gospel, are going to sit down in heaven at a feast and get seated next to. That's amazing. So the Gentile converts, when they get saved and go to heaven, are going to sit down at a banquet, and already seated at the banquet are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I thought, I thought they were, to read replacement theologians, you'd think that maybe they're not even going to be allowed in to heaven.